And we're back, guys. How's everyone doing? We're taking a look at the WTA finals, Saudi Arabia, and the number one seed, Arena Sabalenka. She scares me. That's right, guys. I'm Good Energy. I'm your host. If you've been following the channel for a while, for several years, you know I've been saying it since day one. Arena Sabalenka hits hard, and she is your world's ranked number one. That's right, guys, 9,016 points. Now, we're going to go through each player here at Saudi Arabia, at the championships here, and we're going to have a really good discussion tonight. I encourage you to join in, comment below, like the video, show some love. But Arena Sabalenka, listen, an amazing year, two-time slam champion this year, three times overall, winning the Australian Open against Queen Win and winning the US Open. That's right. Congratulations. She did it. And she is a champion three times, and she is currently known as the Queen of Hard Court. Guys, those were the biggest wins of her career, the biggest wins of this season. And she knows, as having one of the shortest tenures at number one on the world tour, she knows she needs to do well here. She needs to essentially win this tournament to guarantee her number one ranking. However, she said her dream, her goal is to end the season ranked number one. Will Iga Swiatek have a say in that? As she's number two, 5 championships this year, ladies and gentlemen, another French Open title, 7,000 points, 7,000, right? 970. But the reality here is, I don't like how she lost her number one spot due to a rule. That's right. The players have to play a minimum, right? Minimum 6 of the 17 WTA 500 events. Iga played 2. That's right. The United Cup and Stuttgart. But the reality here is, I don't like the rule. Why? I think it's obvious why. As a professional player, sometimes you have to plan your schedule. Sometimes traveling to a particular country may not work with your quarterly plans. And the reality here is, I think Iga Swiatek, I think she could have played more 500 events, but we're not considering that. Iga Swiatek, she played, 15 tournaments? We're not considering that. She's going deep in a lot of these tournaments. She's winning a lot of matches. She's tired. She's exhausted. We have to factor in how much tennis the player is playing. And someone like Iga Swiatek, who's going deep in draws, we need to factor that into this rule, because it's not clear cut. Every player has different situations and circumstances. And I think this rule, even though it's designed to help grow the sport, marketing, revenue, it's putting the players at a disadvantage. So Iga Swiatek spending overall 125 weeks at number one. Congratulations. But we're going to see what she can do in this tournament. Will she be attempting? Because the reality here is, Sabalenka is just, she's playing like a mad woman. I think she has the confidence, but can Iga regain her number one spot? Stay tuned. The number 3 seed, Corey Coco Gauff, ladies and gentlemen, the future of tennis, the most marketable player in the WTA in tennis, period. The entire world, it's Coco. She's actually ranked 12th in terms of the most marketable athletes. Coco is amazing. We all know this, okay? Can Coco win the WTA finals? Can she go deep? She can, right? Capturing 2 titles on the year, Auckland and Beijing. A disappointing Olympic run, but the reality here is, I think she had a lot of responsibilities. She had a lot of press, a lot of obligations. Sometimes, look, a winnable match against Dana Vekic, but the reality here is, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. And that's good. But Coco being the most marketable player, you have to understand her expectations are a lot higher than any player on tour. People expect, because she's coming in Serena's footsteps, as she's coming in Venus and Serena's footsteps as the most dominant American player, and she's under a lot of pressure. However, no player in this current tournament, no player on tour has accomplished what she has by the age of 20, right? 19, so to speak. She is very accomplished, but again, she has so much pressure on her. It's tough because people expect her to win every slam, and it's just not going to happen. Serena never did it. But I will tell you, if her serve is on point in this tournament, I think she wins it. It's as simple as that. Jasmine Paolini, the number 4 seed, the only player from Italy to be ranked number 4 to make a WTA finals. She's setting history. That's right, guys. The highest ranked Italian player of all time. Jasmine Paolini, the only player to make the French Open and SW19 championship back to back. She's amazing, guys. That's right. Can she go deep in this tournament? Of course she can. Winning Dubai this year, her first Masters championship, making the French Open final. Yes, she lost to Iga. Making the SW19 final. Yes, she lost to Babor, but she's learning. Her forehand looks good. The second fastest player on tour, in my opinion, behind Coco, and her forehand is solid. Did I say that already? Yes, because it's solid. Her two-way play is solid. She can defend with her speed, and she can put you away at the net. She's going to take on Elena Rybakina. I gave you a prediction already on that match. Stay tuned. In terms of Elena Rybakina, she's big time. I know this, but she's only played literally 3 matches in the last 4 months. And of those 4 matches, 2 of them have gone to tie breaks. She hasn't looked good, and one of those losses came to Jasmine Paolini. However, she's the professional. If she's a constant professional we know her to be, she's been practicing, she's been in the gym, she's been working on her game. But then again, guys, practicing doesn't equate to real-time game speed. So we're going to see. I do think personally she's going to have a long tournament. She just hasn't been active. You can't turn it on that quickly against the best in the world. But we will see if she's been practicing in the gym. You can bring in a hitting partner and play hard and strong as you want. But what about her stamina? That takes matches. And we all know if Rybakina's broken early in the second set, she might just pack it in for a third. Guys, Elena Rybakina, several championships on the year. And listen, I do think after getting rid of Stefanos, I think she's going to struggle a bit. That's just my personal opinion. Why? Because whenever you're bringing in new techniques, new ways of doing things, it's going to take time to adjust. That's just how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a learning curve. But if we take a look at Rybakina, guys, and really, really understand how good she is, one of the best serves on tour, if not the best serves on tour, right? 3 championships this year. Stuttgart, where she took out Marta. Abu Dhabi and Brisbane. She started the year off well. And listen, this is her 3rd straight 40-plus win season. 41 wins, 9 losses. And it seems like she hasn't played in an eternity, right? But does she have a chance to win it here? Of course she does. I think the matchmakers did a good job of keeping Elena Rybakina out of Iga Swiatek's draw. But then again, we're going to talk about draws as well, because that's something that I just feel just isn't quite fair. That's right, guys. I feel this draw here, it's a little weird. Sabalenka is the top seed. The 8th seed should be in her bracket, should be in her draw. Instead, they put the 7th seed Qinwen in there, someone she can easily beat. And that brings us on to Pegula, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Big game Jessie P. She's on the purple team. That's right, with Coco. That's going to be interesting. Why? Because guess what, guys? She's going to have to go through Coco if she wants to make another WTA Finals Championship match. Personally, I think it's going to be very, very tough for Pegula in this draw. All right? What do you guys think? Pegula, very technical player. She's a solid player. She in terms of just maturity, I think she's probably the most mature player here. I think she's the best at in-match adjustments, and I think that's something that we're going to see Elena Rybakina struggle with, not having Stefanos. But Pegula won Toronto. She won Berlin. The 2 titles on the year. She played well after having a first half of the season just riddled with injuries. I do think she's turned it on at the perfect time, right? 39-14. She's going to hit a 40-win season. She just needs to win one match. I think that's something that should happen. 3 straight seasons with 40 plus wins. That's going to be amazing. But she's taking on Coco, her first round matchup. We all know Coco has struggled against Pegula. That's right, guys. Out of the 5 times they played, Pegula's won 4 of them. Can Pegula get off to a fast start and go deep in this tournament? I do think she can because she's that good. The 7th seed, Qinwen, ladies and gentlemen. Qinwen has been working on her serve. She's been working on her forehand, and she's working on her power. She's got the right coach, Ribas, to do it. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, she's taking on Sabalenka in her first matchup. Again, I do think the 8th seed, and we're going to talk about the 8th seed next. I think, and I just feel the 8th seed should have been a part of Sabalenka's draw. I think that's unfortunate for Qinwen because she shouldn't be there. She should be taking on the number 2 player in this draw, Iga. But no, the matchmakers, they kind of do what they want. Qinwen has had a coming out party in terms of letting everyone know she belongs here. But the work in the gym, you can tell, you can see she's working hard in the gym. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Her second straight 40-win season, 49-16 this year. She played solid. She played phenomenal in a lot of big-time matches, going deep again in the U.S. Open. 3 titles this year, guys. We started in Tokyo. Of course, she's the gold medal winner in Paris. And Palermo. Now, of course, winning Paris is technically not a tour event, right? It's the Olympics. But it doesn't get any sweeter than that. Now, a lot of players have said they would rather win a gold medal than a slam. But then again, you've heard players say they'd rather win a slam than a gold medal. My personal opinion is I think the gold medal, because it's once every 4 years, most players will pick that because it's going to have a lot more meaning to it. You're beating the best in the world. And of course, that's what you're doing as a tour professional athlete. You're beating the best in the world. But the Olympics, I think everyone's playing a little bit harder. They're playing their best. And to win that with the world watching means a lot more, right? Congratulations for Qinwen and Ribas, an amazing coach. But I do think Sabalenka will beat her again, make that 5 in a row. Emma Navarro, guys, and this is where it gets a little bit dicey here, a little foggy. Emma Navarro, by race, the 8th seed. She should be going to Saudi Arabia to play. But she's not. And neither is Dasha, the 9th seed, or Danielle Collins, the 10th seed. Paula Badosa's injured, but representing the WTA in Saudi Arabia for the 8th seed is going to be Barbora Krejcikova. What is going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Now, Emma Navarro said, look, she cannot go, right? The official press release from her camp was that she can, even though she was in the 8th seed, she should be in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure if there was something that was said in the past, something they felt could be controversial. I don't think so. I would have heard it. But the tour can do whatever they want, and we've been seeing this. Finding players. Iga Swiatek lost her number 1 ranking because she didn't play a tournament. You shouldn't lose points for playing or not playing enough tournaments. That should not happen, ladies and gentlemen. But it wasn't Dasha. She didn't get the 8th spot. Dasha's healthy as far as I know. Does anyone know otherwise? Danielle Collins has battled injury, but these last few weeks she's healthy. She didn't get the last spot. She should have. Dasha should have. Paula Badosa is injured. No, but the eighth spot, the race to the finals goes to Barbora Krejcikova. Listen, the tour is going to do what they want, but what's up with that? All right. Now, Dasha early on said she wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia, but then she had a change of heart. Well, I think it was too late because she didn't get the eighth spot. Danielle's very outspoken. Could that have something to do with it? Dasha and Danielle are alternates, ladies and gentlemen. They're alternates. Now, Emma Navarro was offered the opportunity to be an alternate. She said no. She should be the eighth spot. Now, she didn't say that. She just said no. She's nursing an illness, injury. She's not 100% healthy. She wants to focus on that. That's basically what she said in her statement. But we all know, no matter what business you're in, there's politics. There's clearly politics at play here. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. I think Danielle Collins, who is traveling as an alternate, the same with Dasha, I think Danielle Collins should have got the spot. Because if it wasn't for her coming out last week, 10 days ago, stating she would return after I did my post in the community, I said we're going to miss her. She came out and said she's going to return for another season. Congratulations. I would love to see her get back here in this position. I think she will have a good year. I think she's going to start off great, but it's unfortunate. Barbora, the Wimbledon champion. And I think there's got to be maybe a rule change. If you win a slam for that calendar year, automatic entry into the WTA finals. I think that's got to be a rule. Because how are we going to go from 8th to 12th and then say the 12th person is the 8th? Remember in 2019, Sabalenka, or Aryna Sabalenka, the number one seeder, was an alternate? If someone gets injured or goes down, and of course, Osaka, I want to say, aside from Osaka, BB, right? A lot of injuries there. I do think if you go down in the finals, the alternate has got, and of course they get money, they get the game check, so that's the incentive. But I think something's got to change to the point where the alternate just isn't there. They have to be able to win something, you know? And of course you're going to say, okay, well, what happens in a semifinal match where an opponent's injured, can't continue? Well, not only is it not really going to have much effect because then you're going to the finals in the next match, but I just think that if an alternate comes in, they should be able to pick up points or something to make it worth their while. Otherwise, they're just sitting in a hotel, watching the matches. Yes, I guess you can consider it a vacation. But I just think aside from pay, they should be awarded some type of points to make it worthwhile. Because again, if we come back to this situation here where we have someone like Emma Navarro who should be here playing, but again, her can't release that statement of her just focusing on getting 100% after the fact. After the fact. They didn't publish this before, all right? So a lot going on here. But these are your 8 players. Again, I do feel there should be a rule change. If you win a slam, automatic entry into the WTA finals. But not without controversy. That's not the current rule. And the reality here is I would have loved to see Danielle here. Or maybe even Dasha, right? What do you guys think? Comment below. First round matchups. Team Purple, I do think that Sabalenka's going to get past Qinwen. Qinwen just doesn't have an answer. Sabalenka's too strong, too powerful. Even though she's working on it, it's going to take a lot of hitting partners, a lot of practicing with a lot of stronger opponents before she finally grabs it. And it's going to take time. I don't want to put a timetable on it, but I just don't think she's ready yet. Sabalenka wins. Too aggressive, too powerful. Qinwen on the back foot, can't react fast enough. And second matchup of the day is Polini and Rybakina. Rybakina just hasn't played. It's been too long. I'm going to take Bellini to win a set as a 2-1 underdog. Those are the picks, guys. Stay tuned for more WTA finals coverage. But are you outraged that, again, Emma's not there? Dash is there, but an alternate. She was the ninth spot. She should have been put in the finals over Emma Navarro. If or let me rephrase that. If Emma's unable to play, Dasha should be representing her country in the finals. But again, I say it all the time. The tour can do what they want. I do think behind the scenes there's a lot going on in terms of player statements that possibly warranted these changes to where a neutral player comes in that didn't have an opinion or they're pro something to just kind of make things more smooth for the tour, because this is a business relationship, right? Where Saudi Arabia is investing into the sport. The WTA is reaping the benefits of that. They'll have a lot more cash that they can invest back into the tour. But I do think a lot of things need to change, because the way they can just change draws and stuff like that, and hand out wild cards and do all these crazy things for players that don't deserve it, that needs to change, because there are a lot of ladies that are working hard, playing a lot of tennis, that would love to be here deservingly. Tennis in a minute. Stay tuned. We'll be back.